The Bay City Antique Center attracts shoppers from all over the state. This huge building dates back to the logging days when it was a hotel called the Campbell House. Campbell House was just one of many hotels on this stretch of downtown Bay City known as Hell's Half Mile. Hellish because the lumberjacks would drink and brawl at the many saloons. The most notorious lumberjack? Fabian Joe Fernier.
He was just a bad guy. Joe Fernier was a brawler and a fighter, and he would take on anybody, especially when he was imbibing.
Dave Rogers researched Joe Fernier and determined the huge 6-foot logger was the role model for the legend Paul Bunyan. Dave wrote this book called Paul Bunyan, How a Terrible Timber Feller Became a Legend. According to the book, back in November of 1875, mean Joe Fernier left on a pleasure cruise up the Saginaw River.
He got in a fight out there, and the fight continued on the boat.
The fight was with a mason called Blinky Robertson. Blinky was outraged over the fight, and after he left the boat, he waited for Joe Fernier to walk down the gangplank. When he did, Blinky hit him over the head with a ship carpenter's mallet and killed him. The murder took place here, right across from the Antique Center.
Nowadays, people who work or have visited here at the Antique Center say that Joe lives on in the form of a ghost. There have been many scary and spooky incidents right here.
In the summer, I was working over in the corner doing some dusting, and I heard this sigh, and I turned around. There was no one there, so it was a little bit scary because we've heard all the stories of the ghost.
Elaine Fernier and her husband bought the building 15 years ago and converted it into the Antique Center. They think they're distantly related to Fabian Joe Fernier.
We've, of course, heard lots and lots of noises in the building, particularly on the third floor, which is a floor that we use for storage. The rest of the building is open to the public, and we really hear things mostly in the evenings or at night if we happen to be here. Creaking noises and walking noises and rattling.
Elaine's daughter, Michelle, was in grade school when her parents bought the building.
There was an intercom system throughout the building, and my brother and I would push the buttons, and we'd hear noises from the third floor that were like footsteps and just strange things that we didn't know what they were.
Just about every vendor here at the Antique Center has a story to tell about the ghost.
We're not really fearful of it. Nothing has ever happened that's bad or we haven't felt in danger or anything. We've just, heard the noises and, oh, that must be Joe.
We didn't have any encounters ourselves when we were there. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that Fabian right there? Oh, wrong Fabian. I'm Jill Wellington for Weekend Wake Up. Traveling down Hamilton Street in Old Town Saginaw, you've probably seen Ensmingers with cotton house dresses hanging in the window. It hasn't changed much over the years. Dolores Golumbisky used to shop here with her grandmother.
I was little then, but I remember the little things where they put the money in and go shipping up to upstairs someplace there, and then they come back and watch them come back down with the change in.
Ensmingers kept those early shoppers because they offered predictable women's clothing. Romaine Makalowski has shopped here for 50 years.
What kind of things would you buy here? Well, for years we've been buying my mother's house dresses and her aprons. And for years I've been coming in here for their underwear.
Over the years, Ensmingers has been a place for ladies to get their undies. In fact, they sold these. These are called Snuggies, and there aren't very many places that sell these anymore.
The same goes for cotton house dresses and flannel nightgowns. The older customers want these, and they could find them at Ensmingers. Can you get those other places?
The cotton house dresses, we can have people get a mail order now. But other than that, we don't know what's going to happen.
Everything will be auctioned this month, including the building.
We're going to have the showcases on sale here, and they all have curved glass in them on the corners. We're going to have a lot of display items. We have a lot of things down in the basement. We have mannequins. There's a lot of the older clothes.
Upstairs, the building has furnished apartments, and the antique furniture will also be auctioned. The end of an era in this part of town. Jill Wellington, News 5 in Saginaw. Something fishy's going on in Bayport this weekend. Cars are lined up, and people are lined up.
Yeah, they're worth it.
They're all trying to get their hands on
The world-famous Bayport fish sandwich.
everywhere we went, people were talking about.
Bayport fish sandwich.
And everyone was eating them. Well, almost everyone.
Why are you eating Bayport fish sandwich?
I don't know. I've never had this before. It's very good.
But I drive from Minnesota maybe to come and get these things.
Okay, what is it about these?
Fish sandwiches.
Why are they so good?
I don't know.
Well, someone has to know, so we went to the source.
What kind of fish is this?
Mullet.
What's the secret to their taste?
That's their secret batter.
What is the secret recipe?
Well, only the Engleharts know.
World War II was almost fought over the secret.
Okay, so they wouldn't even tell us the secret behind
The world-famous Bayport fish sandwich.
Most of the town gets involved with this weekend, and
The world-famous fish sandwich.
What is your job here?
I'm in charge of squeezing the tartar sauce on the sandwich.
Okay, it had to be done. I'm going to have to try.
Great fish sandwiches from Bayport.
I'm going to need napkins? He's right. That's really good.
and it's a good thing they have this every year. I may just have to head up here next year. Jill Wellington, News 5 in Bayport. They tell me these are the friendship games.
Push her out!
It's the
American
versus the
Canadian team.
This year we're wearing the teal shirts and they've got the pink shirts.
When you come to these games, how competitive are you?
Very.
How much do you want to win at this game?
A lot.
Who's better at baseball, Canadians or Americans?
Canadians. American side.
So I'm seeing a lot of healthy competition here. But I'm wondering, where's all the friendship?
What are you doing?
I'm doing my toe.
Why?
Well, it's pretty rough, so.
Do you think that you're better than the Saginaw team?
Yeah. Off camera, yeah.
Watch the pitcher. Watch the pitcher. Okay.
And the athlete will tell you they like to win. But competition and friendship don't always go hand in hand until the game's over.
When you're trying to beat them, how can you be friendly?
Don't be a poor sport.
I still like to win a game, but I take losing. Who cares? It's just we're out here for fun.
Maybe they should call them the fun games. The fun winds up tomorrow. Jill Wellington, News 5 in Saginaw.